95 have those wings on their rudder. Will it be effective enough against Team Dennis Conner today?
Oh, yes, very, very tight racing here on points-wise, and of course Pact have the lead, but they've got a race up on the others, so Team Dennis Conner can even the score again today.
15 seconds to the gun for Pact 95. Down to coming towards the pin end of the line. Team Dennis Conner up towards the committee boat. Paul Kayard at the helm, starting for Stars and Stripes. Kevin Mahaney at the helm of Pact as they get the gun. And it's Pact 95 towards the pin end. Both on starboard tack as they cross the line.
Quite a lot of separation between the boats, which should mean that Kayard, Stars and Stripes should be able to live in that weather berth. It is quite hard to live in the weather berth, but I think there's good separation, which should enable him. He will be able to pull his bow down if he needs to do a speed build. Could turn into a bit of a drag race here. The boats, good separation. They'll want to just get out there and evaluate who is the faster boat. They're coming to this first cross. That's Pact 95 to the bottom of your screen, starting to tack now.
Stars and Stripes having the right of way, coming across on starboard tack. Pact on port.
Remember, Team Dennis Conner beat Pact when they met earlier in the finals, but it's Pact who have the 1-point advantage in the Defender Series.
Stars and Stripes holding a small advantage. Paul Kayard once again doing a great job on Stars and Stripes.
So on the first beat, it's Stars and Stripes gaining a slight edge over Pact 95. The first cross, that's very close. Paul Kayard will be able to feel the breath of Kevin Mahaney on him.
Well, there's a possible incident here. I'd be surprised if we don't see a white flag. Tacking too close, there will be an incident. We'll wait for the umpire's call. It's Pact coming back instantly. Short. That was a short tack. Back onto port tack. This is a pretty green flag. Wow, they were pretty lucky to get out of that one, I would figure. You have to go back over at it so he doesn't just hold the stake.
Approaching the first mark then, and it's Team Dennis Conner. The bow and mid-bowman getting ready for the first mark rounding. It's been close right throughout this first leg, and this really is where the pressure goes on, when they know that the opposition are right behind them.
Yes, we've seen great crew work from Stars and Stripes, and at this critical time it'll be very, very important. A good spinnaker hoist with Pact right on their tail.
And so around the mark goes Pact 95, Stars and Stripes. Team Dennis Conner, they've had that slight edge, and now Pact 95 at 14 seconds. That's very close. Crew work needs to be tidy.
It's noticeable. The defenders are having very close racing. Every race they have. That's quite a slow set for Pact. What happens, you wool the spinnaker so it retains itself when it hoists, and then the sail will break open when the spinnaker sheet is pulled. But in that case, it just hung in the air for a little while before it filled.
And so it's Stars and Stripes with Young America right on their heels. One jiving in, guys. A lot of activity on board, a lot of talking.
You can hear him calling, get it down, get it down. They want to get the spinnaker down.
And they've got a little bit on here. The spinnaker sheet was eased quite a lot, and we can see the frantically pulling the clue of the spinnaker on board. You've got to get control of the foot of the spinnaker. If that hits the water, you certainly have a big problem. You're liable to lose the lot in the water. Stars and Stripes approaching the mark.
And they get round it safely, but they'll just need to glance to their right and see the opposition at the mark at about the same time. Very little in it. Stars and Stripes around.
And Pact also have problems. They're doing a late drop, and the jib is not fully hoisted. Jib's still going up the forestay.
Yes, you could see that, the wrinkles in the luff there, and it's only just sheeting on now, and they won't have it fully wound in.
So only 15 seconds between these two yachts as they head down the second to last leg. 15 seconds around Mark 4.
And a late retrieval for Pact. They're still hauling the spinnaker in, just getting it out of the water.
So on On this second to last leg then, Pact attacking, trying to gain an edge over Stars and Stripes. Remember, very close around that last mark, just 15 seconds.
Starboard advantage to Pact. Kayard trying to slip round the front of Pact. Oh, that's a marginal cross. Then Pact, Paul Kayard just getting out of jail. Y flag, so it's going to go to the judges. Judges call, port and starboard, basic rule. The call will come from the judge boats that are right behind both yachts.
Vital race, each boat wanting the point.
Vital call from the judge, because if this decision goes against Stars and Stripes, it will cost them the race. Long discussion, still waiting.
In the meantime, they come back again.
Kayard setting up for a slam dunk to force Pact out the opposite way again. Pact rolling into its tack, onto starboard tack.
Okay, now go the way line. Go the way line. Lean. Grab it all the way down, guys. Runner on.
Kevin Mahaney in the red jacket.
Yeah, pressure really on Pact. They came into this as the favourite.
We didn't get the umpire's call, or I didn't hear it, but I suspect it was a green flag. There was certainly no urgency on Stars and Stripes to indicate that they had infringed. Oh, there's plenty on here. Kayard electing to tack to leeward of Pact. Pact had in fact overlaid the mark as they approached the mark. Now both boats luffing. Stars and Stripes holding the advantage as they round the mark.
Well, Dennis Conner will just be about be able to feel the breath of Kevin Mahaney on him. They are so close around this final mark. Just 8 seconds.
Looks like a bit of a messy hoist on Stars and Stripes. I suspect Pact has got her one up and set a lot early, yes. Still hoisting on Stars and Stripes. This will enable Pact to sail right in on the back of Stars and Stripes.
They were a little late getting their spinnaker set as well.
But there's a real opportunity here for young America to get up and steal this race. Dennis Conner then, they had an even start to this race against Pact 95, but then they went round the first mark 14 seconds ahead, 15 at the second, just 8 at the third, stretching it out to a huge lead of 15 seconds at the fourth mark, and then just 8 seconds again at the fifth and final mark. The finish line in sight. Bow to bow, going to the line. Stars and Stripes against Pact 95.
The favoured end of the line will be huge here, whichever end is favoured.
Who's going to win it? Stars and Stripes and Pact 95. Little in it. It looks as though Pact 95 will just get a nose ahead. No! Wow, what a sensational race! And Stars and Stripes just get it. For the defenders, it's now 3-3 between Pact 95 and Stars and Stripes. America Cubed have 2 points.